Hey, today we'll review book Attitude is Everything, Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is a pretty long chapter because the title of the chapter is Your Attitude Toolkit. Your Attitude Toolkit. So he shares 10 toolkits that you're able to use to really improve your attitude. So it's a great chapter. So again, like always, I will read the quote and I will share my thoughts on that quote. Affirmations are statements of faith in your dreams, goals, and ability to take control of your lives, of our lives. They're part of an area of helpful tools you can use to help you focus, build confidence, and eliminate self-doubts, fears, and other counterproductive thoughts. So he shared that a lot of times really what helped him was to overcome stuttering was affirmations, because he shared that when he really went after it and he really said that I am able to do it, he was able to do it because he self-affirmed. It's a very, very powerful tool. And after this, he shared 10 tools that you're able to use to really maximize your attitude. So number one tool, attitude tool one is self-coaching through affirmations. Self-coaching through affirmations. Affirmations repeated several times each day, every day, serve to reprogram your subconscious with positive thinking. Very, very powerful. So it means that I truly believe that if you really want to reprogram your subconscious, it will require some time. If your subconscious was wired one way, that means that it might be that 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You're able to rewrite that, but it'll take some time. That means if you write the same program for 20 years, you're not able to rewrite by saying 5 times that you are great or you are in one way. No, it will be months and months potentially of saying affirmations to yourself until you'll be able to rewrite affirmations. And that's worth it. It's worth to change your programming, because your programming will dictate what kind of actions you take. Once you can see it in your mind, you will be closer to achieving it in your life. This is powerful too. Once you can see it in your mind, you will be closer to achieving it in your life. Because everything in life happens twice. First in your mind, second in your life. First in your mind, and second in your life. If you never thought that you can achieve something, it's almost impossible to achieve it. So that affirmations allows you to start to see yourself being able to achieve that. And when you're able to see it, then of course you're able to transfer that to actual real life. The statements you design for your affirmations must be positive and in the present or future sense. Of course, you're not able to say that I was great. No, you need to be great. You need to work towards. So that means the same as the design needs to be positive in the present or for the future. To work well, it should have these 5 attributes. So he shares 5 attributes that every single affirmation is supposed to have. So be uniquely yours. So of course for you, uniquely for you. Be uplifting. Deal with what is going on at that moment. So that means it needs to be specific for that moment, not for the future will need. No, what are you doing right now that you could help? Number 4, paint a picture in your mind. Paint a picture in your mind. Visualize it. And number 5 is touch your heart. It needs to mean something rather than saying something just to say. And the next attitude tool, number 2 tool, is self-motivation through discovering your motives. Self-motivation through discovering your motives. It says the first step in motivating yourself is to discover a motive that moves you. So what is your vision? What is your purpose? That really, when you wake up, what clicks you? So those things that really matters for you. So the man means people, when they know their why, what is the purpose? They're going through stuff that no other way they can do. That's even Steve Jobs said that when people figure out what they love, they're able to persevere. When people don't know what they love and they just do just for money, they quit. A lot of times people say like, why am I quitting? You quit because you didn't find what is motivating you. It doesn't matter how big it is. It needs to be saying that I do that because I care. And you need to understand your motives. So it's important to discover what motivates you in order to have a passion you need to achieve your success. So it means that when you know what's motivating you, you will have that obsession, passion to really go through whatever it takes to make sure that you get results. Remember, the strongest from motivation is internal. Motivation is not permanent. You need to do something every day to maintain your energy, focus, enthusiasm. That's what it is. But people believe that, I will go to seminar, and they get motivated. And then after a week or 2 or 3, they lose all the motivation. That's why we need to really work on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, to elevate your energy, to really connect with your thoughts, with your whys, with your purpose, the vision that you always see in front of you to take action. Because if you just you looked into motivation once and you never do that again, it's very hard to really keep yourself disciplined. I think that the motivation is important. Some people think motivation is not important. I think it's important, but you need to be disciplined to really elevate your motivation on every single day. And if you don't feel motivated, work on discipline. The danger of relying on outer motivation is that it is like listening to John Phillips' Salsa March. While it's playing, the music will really get you on your feet. But once the music stops, you are likely to sit back down and wait for the next song. I want you to be able to keep on dancing long after you stop banging the drums. Very, very powerful. So it means that sometimes it's people are very motivated while they're listening some kind of motivational audio, and after this motivational audio, I will go and do things. But when it finishes that video, you want to listen another motivational because you lose motivation right away. So really understand that what motivates you, that it doesn't matter what you're going through, you are willing to take action without external motivation, because the most important motivation will be always internal motivation, internal motives. And we have those massive internal motives. Of course, I'm not saying that it's bad to listen to motivation audios or videos. Of course, that is great. But when you're doing action, then of course, it's sometimes even better to listen motivational, because you're doing action while listening motivation, rather than listening motivation to take action. That's a difference, a massive difference. Listening motivation to take action, and listening motivation when you are in the action. So it's much better to listen in the action rather to motivate yourself to take action. Motivation, self-motivation requires at least 5 qualities. Self-motivation requires at least 5 qualities. First, enthusiasm. 2, a positive outlook. Because your subconscious mind accepts the information you give it. Number 3, positive psychology. Number 4, positive positive memories. And number 5, a belief in yourself and your God-given potential. Nice 5 things. Number 3 tool is the power of visualization. So modern studies of psychology of peak performance have found that most great athletes, surgeons, engineers, and artists use affirmations and visualizations either subconsciously or consciously to enhance and focus their skills. Very powerful. The best athletes, everyone is using visualization. They visualize how they throw the ball, how they do the things, how they run, to make sure that they are able to enhance their skill set, to make sure that they're able to perform at the highest level. Because as I said at the beginning, that everything in life happens twice: first in your mind, second in your life. If you never thought that you could achieve something in the mind, you will never be able to achieve it in real life. So we need to visualize the things achieving it, and then of course we'll be able to transfer to real life. It takes the same amount of effort to create positive visualization and affirmations as to create negative ones. But the positive motivational tools will move you forward, and the negative will hold you back. So do you want to be held back, or do you want to move forward? So of course, it's better to really create positive affirmations, positive visualizations, and abundance of those. We need to create abundance of those. That means we abundantly have those. And if you abundantly saying them, it will come into your mind much easily. And I truly believe that repetition in visualizations, repetition in affirmations, that's what really makes a difference. Because if you visualize one time, it will not make a difference. But if you visualize on a consistent basis, that will make a massive difference. Attitude tool 4. Attitude talk for positive internal dialogue. Positive internal dialogue is what I refer to as attitude talk. So it means that you're able to really choose yourself to talk in a positive way. We have the choice to take a closer look at what we are saying to ourselves and start reprogramming for personal and professional success. So sometimes when we're really going through some bad talk, negative talk, we're able to understand that we don't need to listen all the time to our self-talk, but we're able to start speaking to ourselves. That means that we talk back to our thoughts. Because our thoughts sometimes are automatic, and if you're able to be manually say, no, that's not what it is. I will talk back to you and I will tell you what is the truth. So don't allow that the negative automatic talk is keep repeating the things that you don't want. You're able manually to reprogram your subconscious mind, because subconscious mind is telling you something. I said, no, I'm not listening. I will tell you what you're supposed to say. It's very powerful that you are able to have internal dialogue. That's why it's dialogue, discussion. And your subconscious mind is telling one thing, but you consciously be able to speak back and reprogram your subconscious mind. That's a very powerful thing. So to reprogram our inner dialogue, talk from negative to positive. From from negative to positive, we must protect our eye gate. Consider three of the most common influence that can program us daily. So we need to protect eye, what we see. So number one, television. Protect ourselves. Don't look into that. Newspapers. Don't look into newspapers. That's negativity. And don't really listen or hear other people. That we need to be very careful that really we need to build boundaries, strong boundaries, that their negative talk doesn't come into your mind, because that is very sad when we are allowing other people talk to us. And then of course what you need to do, personal attitude, interrupt them and really bring thoughts that really adds value rather than that discourages us. You have heard it said, you are what you eat. Have you ever considered that you are what you read? A person who can read but chooses not to do so is no better off than the person who can't. So it means that we become who we eat. A lot of people have said that, but now you become who you read as well. It's a very powerful thing. So who you want to become, and start reading books. Start reading books by the people that you want to, that aspire to become. It's a very powerful thing, because you will start to speak subconsciously and consciously based on your input, and your input will dictate the way how you think. So it's starting reading books on attitude is referring one of the great ways to read and eat that knowledge. We all need continual positive reinforcement to combat the negative. That means that negativity is a lot of times automatic, because that's what we wired. So that means we always need to combat, reinforce that positivity by really looking where we're able to get that positivity. And books sometimes are a great way to do so. The attitude tool 5, the power of words. Wow. The power of words. The words we speak to others are just as powerful as those we speak to ourselves. Because when you speak to others, you're able to hear it. So the words will be going out and going back in. So we need to make sure that we protect what we say, because we hear what we say. And of course, that will go back to subconscious. We must watch our words, okay? If you can say something nice, don't say anything at all. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. It's very, very powerful. Of course, you're able, sometimes saying something constructive feedback for other people could seem not nice, but is very, very powerful. So, of course, it's very important to say. But if you can't say anything nice and constructive that really could elevate the game for someone, maybe it's not, don't say anything at all. When you speak empowering words, you are empowered. So what you say, that's what you get. Attitude tool 6, the power in a positive greeting. Your words can make a difference in someone's life. The instant you see that person, your words can make a difference in someone's life the instant you see that person. So that means when you meet a person and when they greet you, you are able to impact and influence their life based on your first greeting words. And what the author said that he always says that I am super fantastic. And his attitude allows other people to elevate their attitude as well. So one important secret to internal motivation and being positive, when you are feeling someone down-spirited, don't tell people how you feel. Tell them how you want to feel. It's very powerful. So that means don't tell how you feel. You tell how you want to feel. And you will, sooner or later, will start to feel this way. By controlling what you say, using positive words with enthusiasm, you help to change your physical and mental state. That means that when you really want to feel one way and really work towards, and when you really show enthusiasm that that's exactly what you feel, sooner or later your body will follow. Number seven, attitude tool 7 is enthusiasm, a vital tool for staying motivated. Enthusiasm is to attitude what breathing is to life. Enthusiasm to attitude what breathing is to life. It's a very, very important tool. He said, my friend, Dr. Metcalf, views enthusiasm as sharing what you have inside yourself with others. For me, enthusiasm is an internal spirit that speaks through your actions from commitment and your belief in what you are doing. So that means enthusiasm shows that you're able to really, enthusiasm shows up in actions a lot of times, and commitment, because when you really have that enthusiasm, sometimes you don't need to really reach out and realize it, but really that bottled enthusiasm, showing that that person has a massive determination, massive dedication, that shows enthusiasm. And enthusiasm really is one of the best tools to really have that conviction, because enthusiasm gives really massive power to people who has it. Eight, attitude tool 8 is connecting to your spiritual empowerment. Just as we feed our bodies in response to our primary need to survive physically, we need to feed our spirit because we are spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings. I truly believe that. And that means that if we feed our body, what do we do on a daily basis to feed our spiritual life? What do we do? Because that's the real determinant of how well we feel. Sometimes we feel that we're stuck. We feel that we are struggling. We feel that something is missing. I think that we a lot of times feel that is missing and we are hungry in spiritual life. And that's why when you start really looking into ways how to improve your spiritual life and you get feed your spiritual life, you don't feel that hunger, that stuckness anymore because you focus on both things that is important to feed your body and it's important to feed your spiritual life. In fact, I have been told that the word Bible is really an acronym that stands for Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. Never heard that, and it's pretty cool. Bible is really an acronym that stands for Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. Pretty beautiful. Number 9, attitude tool 9 is lighten up your life with humor. Humor is powerful motivator. The more humor and laughter in your life, the less stress you will have, which is in turn means more positive energy to help you to put your attitude in action. That means that the less stress you will have, the more energy you have to really pursue something important. Because when we stress, when we anxious, a lot of times we think about the problems. But when we have humor and we lighten up and we really forget all the stresses, all the anxiety, and really work on making things happen, and really moving forward and taking that action, a lot of times the problem figures by itself. So a lot of times when we think about the problems and anxiety, and we really don't take our energy at the highest level, and we don't get the result that we want. So I truly believe that humor is a very, very great way to really elevate your actions because we're able to really stay motivated. Because it's very hard to be motivated when you are stressed. So learn to lighten up because it is very important to stay motivated. Number 10, the last tool is exercising will help keep you motivated. Exercising will help you keep motivated. Psychologist and researcher Diane Tiss found that people use a wide variety of distractions to motivate themselves in trying to escape negative moods and the bad attitudes that accompany them. They read, watch TV, go to movies, play video games, or to break their thought patterns. The problem is that unless you find a distraction that offers something uplifting, funny, or inspiring, your mood could get worse. This is probably one of the most important nuggets of all book. That we a lot of times trying to break our bad attitudes by watching TV, like going to movies, play video games, because we don't want to have that bad attitude. We're trying to really counter that, break that bad attitude. And it says that until we find distraction that offers something that uplifting, funny, inspiring, our mood could over time could even worse because those things make our situation worse. So we need to find real distractions like exercise that will elevate something in our lives, and that's physical and exercise that elevates our energy. So Tice found that one of the best ways to move to more positive or motivated frame of mind was to exercise. Very powerful, very, 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 very powerful lesson. So last thing that I'd love to mention is don't forget the best coach with the strongest power over your performance is the coach that lives within you. So you are the best coach and you're able to adjust. And those tools, added tools, are very, very powerful. I hope that you really write down those tools and really look into which tool you're able to implement right away because maybe it's too much to go after 10. It's too much to go after 10 right away. And if you never done any of those 10, maybe write on one or two and really implement for a month. Maybe able to change later on. But really look into how you're able to implement because I truly believe that is a very, very, very powerful chapter. And I highly recommend to read it because there is so much more than I just able to share. So I hope you will choose to really implement a lot of things that he shared. And I'm looking forward to read chapter 8 now. Okay, bye for now.